Shall we begin?
This is Live Speak with hosts Justin Gilson, Alan Quant, and John Rainey. We're bringing you tech news, gadget reviews, Kickstarter investment strategies, and anything we want to discuss with you. Stick around, it's going to be a great show
on Live Speak Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to Live Speak Radio. It is August 17th, 2014, and with me today, I have Alan Quant. He's on the show. Alan.
No, it's not.
No, he's not. He's pretending he's on the show. We'll pretend that he's here. You might hear his voice from time to time, but that's not really Alan. So
Not real.
It's not real. It's not real at all. It's been forever since I've had you on the show. It's been forever since I've really done a show. I mean, I did a show a couple weeks ago. I've been on vacation. I went to the beach, which was really, really, really fun. I love the beach. The beach is awesome. It's only about a 2-hour drive from here, so makes it easy. Yeah, so what have you been up to there, Alan, since I haven't talked to you forever?
Well, you know, work.
Oh, that's right.
Stuff like that.
Doing the old web design work?
Mm-hmm.
You liking it?
I am.
That's good.
I am.
That's fantastic. Got some good stuff on the show today. We're talking about, there's a lot of people talking about Facebook Messenger right now. There's tons of myths flying around, and we'll help clear that up in a little bit. Another thing I noticed is that our Netflix here in the United States is okay. It's not terrible, but it could be better. And for some reason, the version of Netflix in the United Kingdom is 10 times better than ours. So we'll explain how you can make your Netflix way better. Got some phone charging myths. You know, you always hear people talking about how you should charge it up every night or you should let it die completely. We'll talk about that as well. In Windows 8.1 Update 2 that everybody's been talking about, now Windows just doesn't care really much about it. They were going to do a giant comprehensive update, and now they've decided not to. I think they're just going to move to Windows 9, but we can clear that up in a little bit. We don't have John here. John is gone. I don't know where John's at. Forever. No, John's over. He's doing some work, I guess. I can tell you this for the government. I can't tell you what, because I think he'd actually have to kill me.
And which government?
And I can't tell you that either. But there is a government that Mr. Rainey is working for. Oh, gosh. Been a long time.
It's Afghani intelligence.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe he's working for old Snowden. I don't know. I just don't know.
Could be. Maybe he is Snowden.
He might be. I've never seen his face.
Snowden's or John's?
John's.
I've seen 8-Bit John.
Yeah, I guess we have seen 8-Bit John. That's yeah. Well, if he doesn't want to be here, that's his loss. Still love him anyway. Bye, John. John's gone forever. So I'm curious if you've heard of these phone charging myths, because I'll start off with those. I have 5 top myths that I've heard, and the reasons that they're myths and not the truth. And the first one is that using off-brand chargers actually destroys your batteries in your equipment. Now, off-brand chargers, while they're not amazing, are perfectly fine. It's the knockoffs that you should avoid. It's the cheap brand knockoff chargers. If you were to buy the off-brand chargers that are made by a company like Belkin or KMS or a notable company, then they should be fine. But if they're the ones you find in a gas station, I don't think they're going to be too good for you. They did some tests. Lifehacker actually ran an experiment, and they actually pitted official chargers against all these knockoffs and off-brand chargers. And the results showed that these off-brand chargers, though obviously not as good as the real thing, they work just fine. But the knockoffs barely even did the job. So the knockoffs are just a chunk of plastic. They don't really have anything.
Well, and a lot of it has to do with the power going through it too. And I think some of those other ones, those old or the knockoff ones, don't
Oh, right.
Send the wrong amount of power, too much, too little,
Yeah,
things like
true.
that, and I believe that can damage it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful with that, with the amperage and things. If you have something that's a 5.1 charger and you put a 2.0 charger on it for amperage, it's going to charge very, very slow. And if you put one on that's 10 amps or something, it's going to ruin your phone. So you got to be very careful with that. So the easiest thing really is buy the ones that go with your phone or your equipment. Go to the manufacturer. Unless it's Dell. If it's Dell, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg because their stuff is always expensive. But the off-brand aren't that bad. I mean, just don't buy them at gas stations unless you absolutely need to. Then you should be fine. There's a myth number 2 that you shouldn't use your phone while it charges. I've heard that a couple times, but the truth of the matter is you can use it all you want as long as you're not using some weird charger, some knockoff that's not going to charge your phone, because then it'll die and you won't be happy.
Nobody's happy when it dies.
No, and we've talked about plenty of times on the show too about people actually getting electrocuted using knockoff chargers, and actually it wasn't a knockoff; it was actually an iPhone charger, a real one, a while ago that electrocuted that Asian lady. So yeah, go with the ones that go with your phone. That's easy.
Did her race have anything to do with it?
Yes, 100%. They conduct electricity better, is what I hear.
Off-brand chargers and people of Asian heritage should not mix. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, they should never charge anything, really. Yeah. And now we're off the air. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yes.
The myth number 3, I'll get to this here. Charging your phone overnight kills the battery. Now, the truth is your phone is actually smarter than you think, and once it's fully charged up, it knows to stop charging. It's not like it overcharges and keeps storing more power somewhere. It just knows when it's done. However, it doesn't mean you should be charging your phone all night, every single night. Your battery life will last longer, actually, if you keep your phone charged between about 40% and 80%. So put a car charger in your car, take one to work with you. Make sure you have a charger everywhere because you're going to need to keep it between 40 and 80%.
At all times.
At all times. Oh, here's one I know you probably heard, that you don't need to turn your phone off, ever. At all.
No. Well,
see, I've heard the opposite. I've heard that you have to.
it's not that you have to turn it off, but I mean that has nothing to do with your battery, I don't think. But your, I mean, when your phone, you get so many apps running, and it's just like your computer.
Yeah, and it's just like yeah, exactly.
Restart it every once in a while.
And now it's a little different for Apple. Apple experts recommend turning your phone off once a week in order to preserve the battery life, because you have a finite amount of charges that go into the battery. They can only take so many charges because they're not electricity; they're batteries for that reason. They're not AC. So now turning off your phone for Android users is very important, because a simple reboot will restart all the services and things like that, and it helps to restore the battery life as well. Like you said, you have stuff running, a good reboot. I recommend rebooting your phone, a couple times a week if you have an Android.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That helps with.
Mine tends to do it on its own. Mine will just restart out of nowhere.
Oh, that's nice.
Drives me nuts.
Oh, I love it when that happens, don't you?
I do.
Oh,
It is the highlight of my day.
I bet. So the last myth is that they say don't charge your phone until it's completely dead. I mentioned that one earlier in the intro, but the truth is it's better, of course, to charge your phone every day than to do what do they call a deep charge from time to time. The lithium-ion batteries, like the kind in the Samsung and the Apple products, fare way better when they're charged. And if you constantly let them drain to 0%, they become unstable. And like I mentioned, you only have a finite number of charge cycles. And every time it fully dies, that's another cycle that you just threw out the window that you can't use anymore. So, yeah, charge your phone every day. Keep it between 40 and 80%. And you should be okay. Make sure and reboot it a few times. And you'll be all right. And don't believe everything people tell you. Just believe what I tell you and what Alan tells you.
Right.
As we're telling you.
The disclaimer.
Yes. Oh, that's hilarious. So, yeah, phones, pretty much everybody has them now. Take care of them, and they'll last you quite a while. Mm-hmm. But let's take a quick break. I'm going to put on some Riverwalk here. This is a left lane cruiser, and we'll come back after this and we'll talk about Facebook and Netflix and everything else right here on LiveSpeak Radio.
Hey everybody, this is John from LiveSpeak Radio. Radio advertising has always been one of the best mediums for businesses to reach their target audience, and with the success of internet radio, it's reached a whole new level. Internet radio is the most cost-effective way to reach a wider audience, and at LiveSpeak Radio, we have a global audience. That means that we can offer the ideal platform for your business to advertise. To advertise on LiveSpeak Radio, get in touch with us today through our website at livespeakradio.com or send us an email to marketing@livespeakradio.com.
If it's geeks you want, then it's geeks you got. You're listening to the Geeks of Livespeak, Justin Gilson, Alan Quant, and John Rainey. We won't keep you any longer. Back to the show.
That was awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to LiveSpeak Radio. We were talking before the break about charging myths for your phone. And I wanted to get into the Facebook Messenger because this has been going around a lot lately, and it's pretty new. Within the last week, I would say there's been a lot of issues with this because in April, Facebook, they started forcing people to use the Messenger app after announcing its split from the main app in April. They wanted to split the two. So I don't know what the reasoning was. So you can't chat in your app at all. You have to go get the Messenger app. And members have been left really annoyed and outraged by these changes. And, of course, have flocked to the Android App Store to complain. And in addition to the concerns being raised about the app's permissions that give Facebook access to send texts and make calls on the user's device, that's the one that I've heard the most about, is that you're giving Facebook permission to send text messages and make calls from your device. I don't know if that's ever happened to me, because if they have done that, I haven't seen it and I haven't been charged for it. And I don't know what they would need to make a phone call for with my phone.
I do.
What?
Well, I don't know about the phone call, but the text messaging I do. And from a consumer standpoint, I could see how that'd be irritating that you just now you have to switch. You don't have the option.
Yeah.
But from a developer standpoint, I could see how that would be good because you're troubleshooting two different apps.
Right.
If the Messenger's not working on one, it's simpler, and all in all, you're going to get a better product. Now, I don't know if you've done this yet, but on your Android phone, which you have, right? I forget.
Yeah, I do.
That's right. For a while there, I was having issues with messages. I wasn't getting any, and then I found out that I was actually sending. There was a message. I was sending a photo of my daughter to her mother, and apparently I sent that like 400 times.
Oh.
It just continued to resend. Finally, she's like, that's a really neat picture and all, but
I don't need it 500
yeah,
times.
you're like texting me 30 times an hour at work. I'm like, great. So I was trying to figure out how to fix this, and I couldn't. That app, you can't remove it. It's the default Messenger app on your phone.
Right.
So I was really struggling to try and figure out what to do about it, and I was getting to the point where I was going to reset my entire phone, which I really didn't want to do. Then I did some searching around the internet, and it was recommended that on Android phones, start using Google Hangouts app.
Oh, weird.
Because the Google Hangouts app has access to make text messages. And I started using that, and it's way better.
Oh.
So now I can, all my texts and any Google chats going on, which is really just at work. I don't really have, I don't chat with friends on there.
No.
But I think this is where Facebook's trying to get in at, combining your Facebook messages and your text messages all in one app. Oh. I bet you that's what they're going for, just like Google just did.
You're right. And along with because a while ago they tried to integrate the Facebook Home, to your whole phone was Facebook, basically. It was a layer on top of Android, and people didn't like it too much because it was a memory hog, and it killed the battery, and it was annoying, to say the least. The chat heads and the chat bubbles, really annoying. But luckily you can turn that off. See, now I went the other day because my buddy Ryan told me about these permissions, and that they can actually read your contacts, and they can access your texts and edit them, read them, and, send text messages. So I took the Messenger app and uninstalled it from my phone, and that left me just the Facebook app, which was fine because I could just go and click messages, go in there and respond in the app on my phone. But then the next day, of course, my app updated, and I can no longer do that. It forces me to get the Messenger app, which I didn't want to do because I hadn't read enough about what's going on. So to get around that, if you want, you can go to, use your phone, go in a browser and go to facebook.com and use the mobile website. And you can still chat in that mobile website. You don't have to use a messenger app or anything like that. It is very slow and it doesn't refresh automatically. So eventually that'll be gone. Probably next week you won't be able to do that either. But for now, that's a way to get around it. Or you can, of course, use a computer and just get on facebook.com and use it that way.
I think, now I'm really thinking about it because I was trying to, as you were talking, I was thinking about why they would have access to your phone. I bet you that they're trying to probably integrate everything in there. So you have like one contact list, which is your Facebook friends / everybody on your phone. You can message from their app. You can make calls from their app.
Oh, yeah. I think
bet
you're right.
That's what they're trying to do.
And they're probably
I think that's
slowly.
what Google Hangouts is trying to do also.
Yeah, and the thing with that is if they were to tell people, which, I mean, I know you can't necessarily tell everybody what you're going to be doing because that would kill your business, but as you're doing this sort of thing, people are getting upset because they feel like it's violating their privacy. But if you explain what we're doing, this is why this is this way, and this is why your phone is being accessed, but they don't. They just say, you have to use this, and we're Facebook, so we don't care.
Yeah, it's kind of a fine line because you like you said, if you do, you don't want to give out your secrets, but at the same time, a company like Facebook, odds are they're not going to do something malicious with your information because that's just not good business. But you also don't want to just go around thinking that no one's going to do that, so you should be worried and concerned, but you do have to wonder, a company like Facebook, what would they benefit from stealing your, or getting access to your contacts and information?
Think about it. Facebook already has everything about me.
Right. Yeah. Of all companies, I think between Facebook and Google, they know everything about you.
Yeah. So by them being able to, access your contacts and stuff, which they already have. See, that's the thing. When you download these apps on your phone, there's the permissions that they ask you for. We have to have access to this, to that, to this, to your, and everyone just says, okay, go. And then after the fact, they get upset. Mm-hmm. Be informed, read some of that stuff. They purposely make a lot of the user agreements, 5,000 pages so nobody can read them. But the ones in the app stores are just one little screenshot. You can look and see what all it accesses. And if you're not comfortable with it, don't download it. But there are some myths, of course, that I want to talk about and debunk a little bit that have been going around for quite a while now. Well, I wouldn't say quite a while, but the last week. That's not even quite a while at all. There's, of course, you have to use the Messenger app if you want to send messages to your Facebook friends. The reality is it's required to download if you're using Facebook's mobile app on your iPhone or Android smartphone, and you can avoid it, like I said, by using the Messenger service on your desktop or laptop, or the mobile Facebook website. Like I mentioned earlier, just go to the website and use it that way on your phone. The second myth is the Facebook Messenger app's terms of service are different from and more intrusive than Facebook's own official terms. And that's the one that I think is funny because they're really the same. The terms for the policies for Facebook and then the app are practically the same. So, I mean, you can go and read their policies if you want at facebook.com/policies. But what's upsetting people is the list of permissions they see when they download and install the app on their Android phone. And I looked at this earlier, and it's a list with 10 items, each which states the app needs access to features on your phone, including contacts, the calendar, location data, of course, Wi-Fi information.
Uh-oh, I'm fired.
Well, producer's calling to tell Alan, get off the show. Must have been the Asian comment I made. There is a lot of personal data. I understand that. It's the same data that most messaging apps have access to anyway. On the iPhone, users don't get this list of permissions when they install the app, but when they use it, the permissions pop up individually. And again, we can put the link on the website if you want to go look at the Facebook permissions, but they are the same practically as they are online as they are for your phone. Another myth is that Facebook's Messenger app will use your phone's microphone to record you. That one I've heard a lot because people say, well, they have access to your text in your phone. your contacts so they can make phone calls. That means they can turn your microphone on and listen to you, and your camera, and they can watch you. The app does need permission to use your phone's microphone and camera, but it requires that access because the microphone's needed for the voice calling, a service that the standalone app offers for a Facebook app doesn't. And sending sound with videos, they need that. So same with the camera. It needs access if you want to send your friends pictures. So a lot of these things have been in the app for a long time, and now I'm not sure really what started I think it was just forcing the app on people, or the Messenger app, and splitting them, that people are going overboard and thinking that it's somehow violating their privacy.
Yeah, I mean, again, similar to what I said earlier, when you're looking at these permissions, if app like Facebook's Messenger is looking to use your camera, you can just think about it, and there's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
Don't be concerned about that as much as, because what would they have to gain by turning on your camera and watching you in your home?
Really,
whatever weird thing you can think of. Now, on the flip side, if you're downloading an app that has absolutely nothing to do with communication, or photos or video, and it's asking for access to your camera, that's when you'd be a little more concerned.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
You download the Justin Gilson bio app.
Right.
It's like, must have access to your contacts and your camera. Then you wonder why.
Why? Yeah, I mean, today with what we have on our phones and the way we use them, you have to expect that they're going to need information from you, because in order to do most of the things that we're doing with our phones, they have to be able to know everything about you. So you have to be willing to sacrifice that or be okay with that in order to use it. And for some reason, people are just very upset with that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, having my phone know everything about me has been pretty awesome and convenient. This whole, I know the last time I was on the show, we spoke briefly about Google Now and how it kind of predicts things and knows about you, but it takes a while. When I first talked about it, all it really knew was when I went to work.
Yeah, where you're at.
Right, but after you have it active for months, it starts really learning your behavior, and boom, it'll just like pop up. Well, like every night or every day at work. Anyway, like it was doing it in the morning, but now in the last couple of weeks, it started doing it around like 10 till 5. It says, "Hey, this is the best way to get home from work."
Yeah.
And now it's checking. It'll notice, like, I go to a band practice every day on Thursday, and it'll give me the best around the time that I go there around 9 o'clock. It pops up and says, "Hey, this is the best route to get to band practice."
I know.
Well,
I
it
love
doesn't say band practice, but it knows where I'm at. I mean, it's like, this is the best route to get to this destination.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, mine does that a lot, and I've gone in there and you can customize it or whatnot, but it pops up and tells me that Liverpool is playing Southampton or something, because I put in that I liked Liverpool football.
Football.
And so it knows what, when the games are on. It tells me it's coming on this way, or it gives me another alert that this UFC fight is this weekend. Do you want to record it? Because I have a certain app that will, so you have to give that information in order for all that to work. And I don't know, it's hard for me to argue with a company and say, you're taking my privacy, but can I keep using it?
Yeah, right.
I
mean, yeah, and I look at it like, I'm less concerned about them taking my information and doing something malicious with it as I am wondering if they do take my information and use it past my phone, if they actually take it and do something with it, are they making money off of it? And that's where you have to really start thinking about it, is how much are people profiting off of your information, and shouldn't you get a chunk of that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, in my mind, it's less about being concerned about my privacy and
they're not there.
Just how many people are benefiting from my information. Just like this, we've talked about at the supermarket, when you use your card or whatever.
Yeah, the club cards.
Right, and it knows it starts tracking your behavior. and your spending habits, and your spending habits, what you tend to buy, things like that. Is that benefiting them, and are they making money off of that?
Right.
You got to wonder.
Yeah, and then, again, on the other hand, you want that convenience of being able to go home and get online and check your club card, and then it'll have a whole list of your shopping, and you can just take that next time and go shopping with it. Or,
and maybe now you bring that up, that maybe that's the trade-off. That's where you're getting paid to give them that data.
Oh yeah, right.
You're getting the discounts, the ease of use. You're not paying a membership fee to have that card.
Yeah. Now, I understand. On the other hand, there are some cases that are that sort of thing leads to privacy problems, and we talked a while ago about the case where a girl was shopping at Target. She had looked online for a bunch of stuff, and her parents had got on her computer, and they were getting a bunch of ads for pregnancy stuff, and found out that she was actually pregnant based on what she was searching for, and looking at. So in my mind, that's just get with the times, and you need to be a little more careful. It'd be like leaving your pregnancy test wrappers on the floor and being upset that they don't automatically throw themselves away. That's a fantastic point, because anything, once you put something online, or it's there, and it can be found. It's quantified and collated and put somewhere on a server somewhere. So yeah, it's whether or not you want to allow that to happen, and just be careful of big companies like Facebook and Google and things like that are not going to necessarily take your data and then go sell it to somebody so they can make $5 or something. They're using it to make their apps better and more convenient for us, the people that use the apps. Mm-hmm. That's for the most part. And yes, there's another side of that things happen. But again, you said it perfect. This is the digital world. Be aware. Mm-hmm. Know what's going on. So
don't be a fool.
Yeah, don't be a fool. Wrap your tool? No, that doesn't work. No, don't wrap your tool? Okay.
No, never do that.
Alan is a spokesman for do not wrap your tool. Make many babies. Yeah. Let's run to another
free
break. And free HIV for everybody. And we'll be back, and we'll talk a little bit about net neutrality.
I'm bulletproof and tough. Smoking and drinking is my game. Black cat mama, best remember the name. And yoga, love got me down right now, but soon enough I'm coming up. So come on, little mama, don't ya hesitate, 'cause I ain't the kind of man that ever likes to wait. Shaking in your socks, your knees gonna knock, got it on lock. And love me tonight. In the morning, I'll be gone.
Do you like the sound of my commercials? Do you want a commercial? Do you want to play it on your show? Then head over to Mike Wagner at Fiverr.com. Get yours produced now. www.fiverr.com/MWagner. Get fast, friendly, professional commercials at an affordable price. You provide the script, or we will write one for you. Tell us what special effects you need, or we can add them on for you. Check out our features to make your commercials sound great. Go to www.fiverr.com/MWagner and get your commercial done today. www.fiverr.com/MWagner. Also affiliated with www.MikeWagnerVoiceover.com.
Okay, stand by.
You ready to rock?
Let's make some noise.
Welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak Radio. We're talking before the break about Facebook and the Facebook Messenger, and basically be responsible for what you download and read the terms and conditions. And no, they're not turning your camera on, and no, they're not turning your microphone on just to hear you.
The Justin Gilson app will, but
yes,
Facebook
if you get the Justin app Gilson. Yes. Justin app Gilson? That didn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
.org.
Yeah, that thing. Speaking of .org, we've talked a lot about net neutrality on this show and the FCC, and it recently was some issues where it went through and the FCC said, yes, we will allow you to regulate web traffic. Now that July 15th was the initial deadline for your first round comments, basically, on the proposed rules. Now they've extended it to September 10th through the 15th. They extended it to the July 18th, which was 3 days. So they pushed it out to September 15th, so you can get your comments in, you can talk to Congress, you can submit things to the FCC if you want. We do have an internet address or email address that you can email your comments to, and it's openinternet@fcc.gov, and we'll put that in the show notes and on the website. Or you can send physical mail if you still do that and buy stamps. But basically, unless people speak up enough and protest this, then you're going to have Comcast regulating your internet. And that means that, of course, things like Netflix, the cost is going to go up, and you're not going to be on your fast internet anymore. You'll have, I don't know what they call it, regular internet, and then they're going to have the super fast lane internet for the people that will pay them to use it. And that means companies like Netflix and things like that have content, and Hulu, who have all this content that they need to push to customers. It's got to go through Comcast because Comcast is the internet provider. So Comcast is going to say, well, if you guys want it to stream really fast, you're going to have to pay us $1 million, and they're going to have to do it. So it's going to create a really strange ladder of weird internet economics that I don't think we've seen. And the broadband is going to change. I mean, and everybody's going to get into it. Amazon's trying to get into broadband and things like that. I mean, Amazon is a company that easily could do it because they have the content. They have, I mean, Amazon is everything. Anything you want to buy is on Amazon. Videos, music, TV shows, whatever. They have that, the media. So they would be smart to start their own broadband or internet service providing company and be able to charge people as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who else jumps on the bandwagon, Verizon, whatever. But just know that they have extended the comments till September 15th. So email somebody, talk to somebody, make sure it doesn't happen. Well, I don't know if we can even stop it at this point, honestly, but
I don't think so.
The number of comments the agency has received actually, it's on par with the 1.4 million comments the FCC received after singer Janet Jackson's infamous wardrobe malfunction during the live broadcast of the 2004 Super Bowl. So they've gotten quite a few comments about this net neutrality thing. And I do have a clip here if you're going, what is this net neutrality? What are you talking about? There's a perfect 2-minute clip here that I'll play that describes it so you can understand how the importance of the net neutrality. It's basically everyone needs to be equal on the internet. So this is what is net neutrality.
The way the internet works today, everyone is connected to each other through the same level playing field. But a handful of phone and cable companies want to change all that. They want to lock down parts of the web and make sites pay them more money to use it. Everyone else will get the slow lane. How will they do that? By killing one of the internet's founding principles, net neutrality.
So what is net neutrality?
I'm not even sure what net neutrality means.
You connect to the web through pipes owned by telephone and cable companies. But the deal is they're not allowed to mess with what's inside those pipes, whether it's Google or Yahoo, Lonely Girl or Bill O'Reilly, everyday citizens or business tycoons. Everybody's website gets the same speed and quality. That's called net neutrality.
So what's the debate? That actually seems quite fair.
Yes, almost too fair. It's as though the richer companies get no advantage at all.
The companies want to set up a restricted fast lane on the internet, but only for their partners and services. Only sites who pay them a huge fee would be allowed to use it, making them gatekeepers.
But thanks to you, the tides are turning. Over 1 million Americans have petitioned Congress to protect our internet's level playing field. And with your help, we can make net neutrality the law in our new Congress. So sign the petition, call your representatives, and share this message with friends. And use the internet to save the internet at savetheinternet.com.
Okay, so that was what is net neutrality. So now you know what we're talking about a little bit. While we were playing that, Alan found something really interesting online, looking for some news. I'll let you explain what it is because I'm still looking at it. I'm very baffled by this. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's creepy and weird that we were just talking about it, and I was just talking about how I really don't care, but now that I see it, it's like really creepy looking. There is a location website on Google.com where you can pull up all of your information, everywhere you have gone, and you can just keep clicking through a calendar and you see it mapped out. It's one of these things where you actually have to look at it.
Yeah, that's crazy, though.
Get the full effect of it. That's nuts.
I mean, it has a red line showing I went from my house to work, and then I went down to, it looks like Fred Meyer, and then went home on August 6th. I mean, it tracks everything except I've noticed, though, when I went to the beach, because my phone didn't work once I left town. I mean, once I even got out of my house, basically, my phone didn't work. I didn't have any service, so it doesn't know where I went, apparently. It still shows that I was home that whole weekend. But the 30-day, if you should do the 30-day like you're talking about, it shows an entire month of where you go. And mine's funny. I'm pretty lame. It looks like I go to work, and I come home, and I go to work, and I come home, and I go to work.
Mine shows that I went to the lake. I'm seeing my trip to Florida. This is nuts.
And like I said, I wonder if it's a matter of time before we can look at next week and it'll tell us where we're going.
Really.
You're going to need groceries.
Really, if they've got the data, if they can figure out how to, some algorithm to figure out that. But I mean, I'm sure now that it sees I go to Florida around this time of the month or the year.
Yeah.
Once I do it again next year at the same time, I bet you shortly before my trip, it's going to start telling me, hey, this is the way to get to Orlando.
Yeah, and you'll get emails and stuff saying, hey, check Expedia for hotels in Florida. And,
right.
They'll use all that data. Holy.
Oh, that is crazy.
It's kind of creepy, but I mean, I like that kind of stuff too because, I'm not doing anything wrong, so it's not bothering me. But I'm curious what they're going to do.
That's a trick for somebody who's like, if you're trying to find out if your wife or husband's cheating on you, go on their computer and.
Yeah, I see where you've been going.
Sure, you were going out to get milk.
Yeah, right. You went all the way to Florida. That's interesting. Wow, I'm glad you found that. That's creepy and interesting, all in the same hand. So there you go. You can go to Google Maps and see your location history. You can, if you want, delete your history, all of it, or just from one day. So if you were cheating that day, you can delete your history, but it's not gone. I guarantee you that. You just can't see it anymore. They also allow you to export it. You can export your data to a KML file, which I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what a KML file is. I've heard of XML. Is KML something like that, you think?
KML. I've never heard of that. Oh, that's a map.
Oh, it's just a map file type.
It's I don't remember what the K stands for, but it's I believe it's something markup language. It's
it's a Google Earth. Yeah, specific. So if you're new to KML, begin by browsing the KML tutorial, which I don't want to do, which presents short examples, and it's for Google Earth and Google Maps. Yeah, specifically. Google Maps. Gurgle. I can't say Google really well because I have a giant cow tongue, so it's hard for me to say Google. And the Google Glass. Yeah, that's how I have to say it. So enjoy that. Interesting. It says that many applications will display KML, including Google Earth, Google Maps, NASA, Worldwind, not wide, but wind. Oh, Whirlwind. Sorry. And Adobe Photoshop and AutoCAD and Yahoo Pipes, whatever Yahoo Pipes is. So there you go. You can export it and put it into a bunch of different stuff, and I don't know what you would do with it, but there you have it. So you can thank Alan Quant for that little ditty. Oh, fantastic find. I did want to talk a little bit about Windows updates because we've discussed Windows 8. Oh man, extensively. I think we've run out of breath talking about Windows 8. But a while ago, Windows 8.1 came out, and then this big Update 1 came out, and that was a giant change. They were supposed to put a start button on there. They kind of did. They put a little button there that opens up the Windows 8 start menu. So now they were talking about Windows 8.1 Update 2, which was going to have the real start menu and a few other features, security. They've scaled that back. They've decided we're just going to put some security updates on it, and you're not going to get your start menu. You're not going to get anything else.
This is the third time they've done this to us.
Yes. So I know they're trying to work on Windows 9, and that's going to be their next thing. September 2015 is when it's expected. My guess is that's going to get pushed up to, say, January, because they can't run another year on Windows 8.1. They just can't. I don't think people will allow it. I don't think people are they're just going to go buy different things. They're pushing people over to the Apple system more than they know, because people are very sick of their computers not working or having weird issues and not even having a start menu. I mean, come on.
Well, now that they've made it clear that they are going to make another operating system, they're trying to get into the enterprise market, and I'm sure barely any companies have switched to Windows 8.
Right.
And now they're definitely not going to do it because they're going to wait until Microsoft releases 9. So that's another incentive for them to get that out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, once the images were leaked that we showed a while ago, that they were going to put Office 365 in Windows. They're going to do all this cloud-based stuff with Windows 9. The cat's out of the bag. They have to come up with it now. They can't keep running Windows 8.1 Update 12 and hope people will just hang on with it, because nobody's going to buy it now. Knowing that Windows 9 is coming out, I would not go and buy a laptop with Windows 8.1. I wouldn't. I would go and wait for Windows 9, or I would buy Windows 7 and then try and upgrade to 9 when it comes out. It's just like Vista
Hopefully
all over
they
again.
do it as a cheap upgrade like they did this time around. I mean, that was pretty cool. It was only $40, but
I have heard that it's actually going to be a free upgrade for current customers.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Now, see, I just got a new laptop at work, which is kind of fun. I love new. Pick out the laptop I want. It's pretty phenomenal. It's a Samsung. It's like razor thin. I mean, it's pretty close to the what is it? The Air MacBook Air or whatever.
MacBook Air, yeah.
Because it's got a solid state drive in it. So it can be thin, runs quiet as all get out. It boots in like 2 seconds. Like, you don't even feel like you actually shut down and restarted the computer, because it just acted like it just came out from being asleep.
Oh, that's amazing. I love solid state hard drives, and I don't know why they haven't come down in price either. I mean, they've come down some. They used to be $500 for like an 80 gig, but you still can't get a terabyte solid state. I don't understand why.
Yeah,
the
technology's there. A lot of hosting companies are switching their servers over or offering solid state drives. We just upgraded to that at work.
It's smart.
So the servers run a lot smoother. But it's a touch screen too, and it's a full HD 1080 1920 by 1080 resolution, which most laptops aren't. Well, I think some of the newer ones are, but this isn't a case when that start screen could be handy as an option, because if I do want to get to something with that high resolution, my little smart Start 8 plugin, that start button's really tiny in the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah.
And tapping on stuff is a real pain. But then again, it's a laptop, and odds are I'm just going to use the mouse. But that's just another thing. It should have been an option. And I'm trying really hard. I want to get a Surface 3.
Yeah.
Those things, I don't know if you've looked at those, but they're like 11-inch screen. The resolution is amazing. It's like
and they got
2500 by 1440 or something.
Oh yeah, they're going up to almost 4K.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
and you have the ability to plug in multiple monitors and things like that.
That's what I was going to say. They have the USB port. They have the mini video display. You can't do any of that on even the MacBook Air. I mean, you can plug in their little adapters into the MacBook.
I mean, for productivity, I mean, Windows still has it on lockdown. I mean, this laptop I got, the reason I got it was mainly because I was using a Mac when I first started this job, and I couldn't stand it, and I complained about it daily.
Yeah.
And because it's just not good for productivity. It's simple things like snapping windows to the screen, like throwing them over to the side and they pull things that you're just used to. You know, I mean, I'm a web developer, not a web designer, so I don't need phenomenal graphics. I don't need anything like that. I just need real estate. I need multiple monitors. I need to be having things. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
yeah. So in that case, it really wins. Now our designer at the company, sure, he's got a Mac and I'm sure he enjoys that and that's good, but
yeah, and all designers love Macs. Now that actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I posted something on LiveSpeak Radio's Facebook page the other day about the top 5. I love top 5 lists, but the top 5 devices and technology for the summer of 2014, and for laptops, it's the MacBook Air. It is right now is the most popular, most sold laptop right now during the summer, and they do say that they're talking about what they say. It's one of the most portable and powerful laptops on the market. That's their claim. And it's kind of right now holding up to that because people aren't trying any Windows stuff right now. Now, for tablets, what do you think would be the best tablet for 2014? It'd probably be a Samsung or maybe even, I don't know, an LG. But the fact of the matter is it's a Kindle. It's the Kindle Fire HDX. And for some reason, it's the best one of the summer. Now there's the size, the 7-inch or the 8.9-inch Kindle Fire HDX are the best tablets right now. It doesn't run pure Android, but then again, few tablets actually run 100% Android. Now Amazon has the Fire OS, which is optimized to give a good experience, good user experience on the Amazon Fire hardware that it has, and it absolutely does. Now, the iPads are great tablets, and I've used one before. They're fantastic, but the Kindle Fire is usually the one that you would reach for to do typical functions like surfing the web or hitting up social networks and consuming content in general. Now, I do listen to a lot of music on tablets, and the audio in the Amazon HDX that's integrated in both sizes, the 7-inch and the 8-inch, are phenomenal. It's unbelievable the kind of speakers that they can get into these little tiny things. Now, as far as using a keyboard or a Bluetooth mouse or something, the Amazon doesn't quite hold a candle to the iPad. The iPad, it just works. I mean, it works fluidly with your wireless keyboard. And there's a good selection of third-party keyboards that you can choose from for the iPad. But when it comes to pure tablet use, I would say the Kindle Fire HDX can't be beat. It's the best one out there. And like I mentioned earlier, Amazon has such a vast amount of media, and that they're able to just present it to you in their Kindle. Here you go. Enjoy all of this. And that's why I think that they're becoming a formidable component to a lot of the tablet makers and media and things like that, because now they have Prime, Amazon Prime, which is, watch anything, anywhere, anytime, just like everybody else's services. So, now the most important thing about that, like I said, is that it's cheaper than an iPad. The iPad's, of course, $500-$600. The Kindle, $200-$300 or $400 if you want to go HDX, and they're going to work perfectly for what you need. So that's my recommendation, and it's gotten a lot of votes for the best of 2014 in the summer. As far as smartphones, this one's a hard one because you got the Apple iPhone, which has become one of those things that it's just people will just buy because it is an iPhone. And then you have the Samsung Galaxy series, like I have the S4, and then the S5 just came out. And I thought that would be pretty big, but it's actually the Nokia Lumia 1520. And this phone actually, it appeals to people in many different ways. And if you showed 10 phones to 10 different people, you likely get totally different opinions from all of them. So it's hard to say that this is absolutely the best, but after using a Lumia 1520 a few times, it's a big phone, but it's amazing. The display is gorgeous. The casing feels really good while you're using it. And Nokia has a reputation for putting good cameras on its phones, and the 1520 has one of the best. I mean, the 20 megapixel camera with Nokia PureView technology rivals dedicated cameras. I mean, that's in a phone. And this makes the Lumia 1520 a very important phone to have in your pocket if you like taking pictures, especially. Windows Phone doesn't have much on the market, but it's evolving into a nice smartphone OS. It's a really nice operating system. It is well integrated into the operation of the Nokia hardware, and it creates a nice device all around. Now, there are a lot of good smartphones available on, of course, all major mobile platforms, and the Nokia 1520 convinces me it's currently one that needs to be beat. Somebody needs to try and come up with something better, because that's the highest right now. 20 megapixels, runs on the Windows OS nicely. It's a great phone. So that's the mobile smartphone. Now, as far as the most important mobile technology that's out there, I'm going to say wearables, health type wearables like the M Health. It's basically, it tracks everything about you. It tracks your heart rate. It tracks your blood pressure. It tracks how many steps you take during the day, what you eat. So it's basically telling you how you can live a smarter, healthier life. And those type of wearables, and I'm not just going to say the M Health is the best, but just those are really huge in 2014. By the end of this year, I'm not sure what exactly we'll see, but the way it's going with wearables right now, who knows? Because they have baby monitors that hook onto the ankles of babies, and it tells you everything about the kid, the temperature, things like that. So those are absolutely huge right now. Now, if I move on to what's the top mobile platform iOS right now. It's just a given. Mainly because Windows doesn't have much going for it right now, and people like Android, but it's still open source and it's still kind of flaky from time to time. And because Android isn't, like I said earlier, phones aren't 100% Android. They're some of Android with a layer of other stuff on top of it. You don't get to see what Android is 100% capable of unless you remove all the other junk. So iOS, because it's just that, it is their platform on every device that they sell, it has become the most popular. It is easy to use, and it looks nice. The new icons that are on there now are a little weird. They were made actually by the art department instead of engineering, so they look very flashy and flat, lots of color, but it's doing well right now. Now, let's talk about something future. What is going to disrupt mobile technologies and laptops and phones and things like that? We're thinking Chrome OS. It'll no doubt be controversial, but we believe that the lightweight operating system from Google will end up setting the mobile space on its ear, because the Chromebook is just starting to take off in the market, and the way things are going, it may soon offer really serious competition to both OS X and Windows. And this disruption will come from, of course, the next generation of computer users. Chromebooks are hitting the education sector really hard right now, and this will have a result on an entire generation. Not only doesn't feel a need for OS X or Windows, they won't know anything about them because they'll only be using Chrome OS, and that's it. And, with solid state hard drives and things like that in them, they're ridiculously fast. So it's, you get onto your Chrome laptop and you just go. You don't have to wait for it to boot. You don't have to wait for it to open up Chrome. You don't have to wait for anything. It's solid state. It's very lightweight. It's incredibly fast. So that is your technology for 2014, the summer of 2014 and beyond. We're going to take a little break here, and I want to thank Indiana Talks for having us on their show, as usual. Up next after us is the Workers' Voice show, some politics and things like that. Have a listen on indianatalks.com, and come back after this, and we will discuss the Netflix trick that I've been telling everybody about and make your Netflix way better here on Live Speak Radio.
Stop.
Everyone listen to me. You're spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time taking your computer to the Geek Squad. If you want your computer to run better, here is the secret. Do it yourself. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you it's not. With proper guidance, you can get your computer running like brand new again. See for yourself. Sign up for Computer Repair for Beginners and Experts alike today. It's only $9. That's it. Even if you don't think your computer needs a tune-up, this course is designed to help prevent future problems from happening. If someone told you that you could prevent your car from breaking down, would you take advantage of it? Of course you would. So why neglect your computer, especially for only $9? And every review has been a perfect 5-star rating that speaks for itself. With a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Head over to www.geekcreations.com and click online courses to get started today. Save yourself a headache. Fix it in one day so you can get back to using your computer again. Go now. www.geekcreations.com. That's GEEKREATIONS.com and click online courses. Time is wasting. Go now.
Aw, geez, not again. John spilled his Pepsi. Can someone call an intern? And while they're at it, can someone please get Alan some pants? Back to the show. I guess.
Welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak Radio. We're talking a little bit about the mobile and technology for 2013 or 2014, the summer of 2014, and what's big and what's not. But I wanted to talk about Netflix because I've been letting everybody know that's there's a trick that you can make Netflix way better, because I didn't know this, and I don't know how many people actually do know this, but Netflix here in the United States is, I'm not going to say terrible, but it's not as good as it could be. And I don't know why it is that way, but I'm looked at the Netflix in the United Kingdom. I actually logged in, and they had way better shows and movies and more current stuff. I mean, our Netflix just now got the Mighty Ducks Part 2.
What?
D2 Mighty Ducks. Netflix got it. Only took them about, 25 years?
Worst movie ever.
Now, I know that a lot of that has to do with permissions, and you have to get rights and all, you have to have the rights to play it. But why is it different in the UK than here? I don't understand it. I don't get why they would do that, unless it was all like BBC type stuff or, shows from the United Kingdom. That I'd understand, but it's all mainstream movies and TV shows from America that are being shown over there and not here. So, in order to get around that, there's a trick you can do, and it involves Chrome, Google Chrome, and a little plugin called Hola, Better Internet. It's called
some duct tape.
And some duct tape and toothpaste.
Curling iron.
And MacGyver.
And MacGyver.
I should have went with that. We totally would have people have a salad bowl with a Pringles thing in it and, make a mini satellite. I don't know. No, you go and download this plugin. It's Hola, Hola. It's Spanish. Hola. It's called Hola Better Internet. You download that, install it into Chrome, and then you go to netflix.com. And you go up to your extension, the little Hola extension, and you click on that, and you can change where you're at. So you can change regions. So you can click on the United Kingdom, and what it does is changes your location to the United Kingdom. And now you're connected to the Netflix servers in the United Kingdom. So it is a little slow here from the United States over there, but you can still sign in with your regular account because it's a Netflix account. And as soon as you do that and you're in the UK, you'll see that there are way better shows and way better movies on their Netflix.
It's not even just better, it's a different selection. So if you've already worn out your US selection, you can go there and get different selection. And there are some UK things. I think we talked about this one day, or maybe you and I and John were talking about it, and things like the Louis Theroux documentaries, those that aren't, I think there might be one or two on the US one, but there's a gang of them over on the UK one.
Yeah. So that's a perfect way of putting it too, because I mean, you pretty much go through all of Netflix and find out, well, I'm done with it because I don't want to watch some of this other crap that's on here. And you end up, you're paying, what is it, $8 a month for something. So yeah, try different areas. I've tried the UK. I haven't tried many other places. I tried Australia. They don't have Netflix available there apparently. But the UK so far has been the top one to use. So that's my suggestion. I get that extension. And now if I could figure out a way to make it work on my phone or my tablet.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be nice. I don't know. Can you put extensions on your tablet Chrome? I don't think you can. I don't know.
Never thought of that.
I don't know. So,
but between Netflix and Google Play, I've got and maybe about a little under $20 a month between the two of them. I've got a pretty nice little entertainment setup.
Yeah,
you know, it's cool.
And I was talking earlier about the tablet, the most popular tablet right now for the summer, and it's actually a Kindle Fire HDX because its
daughter has one of those.
It's tapped right into Amazon, and Amazon has everything. You know, they have Amazon Prime now, which is watch your TV and your movies and all that stuff. It's just like Hulu Plus and all that. So yeah, that's a fantastic little tablet and a good way to get a lot of content. So you can pay for Amazon Prime and then get Netflix and you're set. Or like you,
they're not
Google
very
Play.
Expensive, are they? Like $200 maybe?
The HDX, yeah, they're not very expensive. definitely compared to an iPad, I would get the HDX, the Kindle Fire.
Now I know there are some limitations as far as the apps go. Not all apps that work on normal tablets will work on the Kindle, and that's kind of a downer. I was trying to install some apps for my daughter on hers, and
it's because it runs Android to a point, but then on top of that is the Amazon Fire OS. So yeah, you do have a little bit of an issue there, but
you don't actually go to the Play Store; you go to their version.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's what everything's going to be. It's just like Apple. You go to the Apple Store. It's just like with Android. You go to the Android App Store, Play Store, whatever. Now Amazon has their little Prime Store, and I think they're going to continue. Amazon's going to continue with that and make their apps, make many, many, many more apps, so they can compete, because they're doing really well with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you actually tried the Google Play yet.
The Google Play? No, actually, I haven't.
The music. There's a 30-day free.
Oh.
It's basically, I mean, it's kind of like, well, it's not like Netflix, but it's like Netflix for music, but it's our best way to compare it to would be Spotify.
Oh.
Only Spotify doesn't have the selection that Google does. Pretty much any album by any artist you can think of is available, and it's just always available. You can go on your phone, you can go on your computer, you can just turn it on. So whereas Pandora is cool, this is even cooler because you can actually select what you want to play.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, you can go, I want, Pearl Jam's album. I don't know why I thought of that.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, because with with Pandora, if I type in a specific song that I want to hear, it doesn't play it for like 10 songs. Eventually I'll hear it, but I just get a mix.
But you also get the you can do the same thing that you can do on Pandora, where you can also do radio stations based on.
Oh.
So you've got that both mixed in. Plus, there's also playlists. You can create your own playlists, which not only
that's nice.
It's not only cool for you, but you can choose to make them public.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then your playlist will show up as suggestions to other people who have the same taste in music as you. So you can go, oh, Johnny's got a play mix for 90s hits. I'm going to listen to it. Right. It'll show up in your little feed there. And it's pretty cool. I use it, all day at work. I've got Google Play running.
Now, Google Play doesn't... I'm confused.
Well, yeah, when I say that, Google Play is their entire store. It's their apps, their music, their movies. I'm talking about the streaming music portion of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they've got their movies too.
Yeah, you can go and buy movies and rent movies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, which I did that the other day, which is kind of convenient. You
now,
get it for like 48 hours.
That must mean then that those... I wonder, though, if Google Play movies will go through the Chromecast. Because, they only talk about HBO and Hulu Plus.
Because they play on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. So there you go. I'm really starting to like the Chromecast more and more. I bought another one for upstairs.
There are a ton of apps now.
Is there? I haven't...
Yeah, I just looked the other day, and there's like hundreds of apps that have Chromecast ability on them now.
I love that. And I've been using the Google Cast, which is, you can cast any tab that you're in. And you remember a while ago, it's been around for a while. It's been experimental, but it was really glitchy. Mm-hmm. It's not as bad anymore.
Oh, that's cool.
It would slow down a little bit, like it would get behind on vocals or something just for a second, and then it would catch right back up. And I watched an entire movie last night on the Chromecast, just in a tab, and it worked fine.
Very cool. I'm actually thinking of convincing my office to buy one, so we can plug it into our projector in the conference room. Because there's many times where we have meetings in the conference room, and I would like to show things on the screen, but I don't really want to. I think you might have seen a picture of my desk. It's very similar to my home setup. I've got like 5 different monitors and all this stuff plugged into my laptop. I don't really want to disconnect my laptop every time.
No.
So if we had a Chromecast plugged into the projector over in the conference room, I could just hit send a Chromecast.
Oh, easily.
Whatever it is. Yeah. And quite honestly, the conference room, our office, our part of the office, is pretty small. And the conference room is only maybe 20 feet away from my desk. So I bet you anything, I use a Bluetooth mouse for my laptop. I bet I could leave my laptop on my desk and go over into the conference room with just my mouse and still control my screen from there.
Yeah.
Because it's not very far. Because I know I can walk around the entire office with my Bluetooth headphones on, and it's not until I get to the parking lot that I start hearing the connection go. So
yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that for PCs, I should say, or Android devices that you can get besides the Chromecast, but they're expensive. Like there's a Netgear Screencast or Mirrorcast, and they're glitchy. I mean, they're really hard to get to work.
Oh yeah, but
is easy.
Yeah, and it's not. The downside is that it's not like a replacement for anything yet. It's definitely not going to be like your all-in-one entertainment deal. You plug it in your TV and that's all you need.
Right.
But it's definitely, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of a nice thing to just have around.
Oh yeah, for $35.
It comes in handy. It's like having a little flash drive,
Mm-hmm.
You don't use it all day, and every day, but having it is pretty important.
Oh yeah, and it's as cheap as a flash drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually while my daughter was here for the summer, it worked out perfectly. I don't have a DVD player or anything like that anymore. I just have a little flat screen TV in her room, and I just had her use one of my old Android phones to control the TV. I just plugged the Chromecast in there and left that in there for the whole month.
Yeah.
So she could watch Netflix on the TV and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I recommended to my dad to get one because he's always in hotels for the railroad traveling, and he takes his with him because everywhere he goes has flat screen TVs. Just plug it in, and he can have his Netflix or whatever. And I'm looking at the apps now, the list of apps that. Oh my
gang
gosh,
of them. Yeah, there's a lot. Now, what they do, I mean, whether they're really good or not, I see a lot of them are like IP camera stuff, which is pretty cool. So you could use, if you have, if say you've got a business and you want to monitor your store, throw a bunch of IP cameras up, and rather than having some big camera setup where you've got wires everywhere and some DVR plugged in, just a whole bunch of crap, you can just have a Chromecast and a flat screen TV, and it'll display like all 8 of your cameras on the screen in a grid. Things like that.
Oh, that's fantastic. That actually made me think of something. The other day, my front door at my apartment doesn't have a peephole at all. So you can't see who's at the door, and there's no windows around. So you have no idea who's behind the door. And when my nephew and my niece are over here, I don't like that. So I told the landlord, I need a peephole. I'll put it in if he didn't want to. And he said, just buy it and we'll install it. So I did, and I started thinking, now what if I have an old phone, an old Android phone? What if I just made a holster or something and put the camera on the peephole, you know what I mean? Hang my phone on the door and have that either AirDroid or the Chromecast, now that you mention it. I could have that on whenever I want, and then just on my TV switch to that input when I want to see who's at the door.
Yeah, you totally could.
That's funny.
And even IP cameras are getting pretty relatively inexpensive these days. And,
oh yeah.
You don't even necessarily need an outdoor. Like I've noticed that the indoor-outdoor ones are a little more expensive than the indoor ones. But we had a horrendous winter this year. I mean, we got down to negative 44 wind chill, and I left my indoor IP camera outside on the porch the entire winter, and it did not damage it one bit.
Wow.
The only downside is being an indoor one, it's not night vision, but that thing cost me maybe $45, and that was almost 2 years ago now. So I bet you can get a decent one you might even get an indoor-outdoor one for $45 now.
Oh yeah, I saw one actually at the store the other day. I was looking, and I think it was $35 it was indoor for a full
that's not bad.
IP camera setup. I think there was 2 or 4 cameras. I can't remember. It's really, really cheap.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So that kind of stuff, yeah. I mean, it all depends on what you can come up with, you know. And the Chromecast, I think, is fantastic for, I mean, media, for all this stuff that you're telling me now. I'm thinking of all kinds of things I can do with it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
And
I definitely want to try the conference room idea. I think that's.
I think that's genius.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good.
We have,
and that means anybody could do it. Not just me. So if if a salesperson wants to pull up a website that we're working on, or a potential client, they can just quickly hit that, and not even on their computer, because we've all got phones and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure everybody there has at least most of us have Androids, and yeah, it's just pretty cool. You can just,
I mean,
you can cast.
You can cast from an iPhone browser. Too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was trying to download that the other day, but my iPod's too old.
I forgot I have an iPod too.
Yeah. But
it's good.
But yeah, I mean,
it's open
source.
Can
cast you can throw your browser up on there, can't you, from your phone?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can do the actual screencast like you can on the computer, but you can throw a web page up.
Yeah, you can cast a tab. Well, here's a trick with that too: is if you can cast Chrome, you can actually go into your local files in the Chrome address bar. So if on your phone, I don't know how easy that would be, but if you know the directory, if it's say Android /pictures/ whatever, you can put that into the address bar and it will open it in that tab.
Oh, very cool.
And then you can play even a video in that tab and it'll cast.
So that's good to know.
Yeah, so there's little things like that, I mean, make it almost endless of what you can do. I just love the technology of having a tiny wireless device that's plugged into the TV that I can just tell stuff to play on it. I love that.
I think that's really cool.
So, I don't know. They have the most popular ones, of course, still, and it has expanded. It used to be just Netflix, YouTube, and Pandora. Now it's HBO Go, Hulu Plus, ESPN, and of course Google Play. Those are the ones that are tested and you absolutely can use with the Chromecast. The other ones are a lot of the apps are just created because it's open source. People have made their own apps, so some may work.
Third-party ones.
Crackle, that's another one that's interesting because I've used Crackle on my phone and it has all kinds of cool stuff. And Crackle is turning into a little Netflix where they're having their own TV series and stuff. Crackle.
Oh yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah. So I wonder how big they're going to get. That's one that I would love to invest in.
Netflix is doing some. I mean, their series are really good, and they're picking up. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this. They're snatching up series that a lot of the regular networks have canceled.
Yeah.
But for some reason, these networks are canceling it, but Netflix is realizing that these have huge followings. I bet you anything, a lot of these shows are getting canceled because people are watching them online, and you're not getting the right statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. It's been like The Killing just got added. Now, sadly, Netflix also canceled it at the same time when they bought it. They knew enough that was such a good series that it needed an ending. So they made a 4th and final season with 6 episodes to end it correctly. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool. And the thing with the Netflix is that, or anything like that service, is you can go back and keep watching it. If you missed, those last 6 episodes, you can watch them over and over and over again. I do that with Top Gear. There's 21 seasons, and I watch it all the time. That's really all I have been Netflix for anymore. But, it's there, and I don't know how long they keep things on Netflix. I don't even know if they ever remove things from Netflix, or I don't know.
I think some of the newer stuff, some of the more popular stuff they do remove, but I'm pretty sure that the deals that they have with whoever, like the networks and whoever owns the shows and movies, they last quite a while. I mean, there's stuff that I've seen on there that's been on there for 2 years now. But then some of the newer things, or some of the TV shows, they'll take them off after about a year and then replace it with something else. But
yeah, I mean,
definitely long enough for you to get your money's worth out of it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and I think that also somewhat relates to why a lot of big name actors are now going to TV, because you have things like Hulu Plus and HBO Go and all this mobile TV. You know, you can take anywhere with you, and it's harder. I mean, you can rent movies on your mobile, but it just seems like TV series seem to be way more popular on these type of devices like Netflix and things like that, because you have multiple episodes that you can rewatch over and over and over again. With my regular cable TV, Suits is a show that I love watching, and since I can record it and watch it over and over again, but once an episode is on, it's gone. You know,
right.
You watch it and it's off and it's gone. So
yeah, the days of actual TV, or I mean broadcast TV, it's pretty limited. I mean, it's kind of like you look at Pandora. I think people like the idea of having a radio station and just kind of, you know, not being totally up to them what they're hearing, but at the end of the day, things like Google Play, where you can just actually go in and pick what you want. Just nobody wants to do that anymore. I don't want to sit.
No.
I mean, like I turn on the TV and there's never anything on. I think the only time that I've ever really enjoyed turning on the TV is like around 5, 6 in the afternoon or evening, and there's usually like Family Guy reruns or something. But actual TV shows, I'd rather just watch it on the internet, and because I'm not always going to be prepared at 9 o'clock to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
The show I like, you know, or whatever time it airs. So
yeah, I totally agree with that.
And more people are going to start learning how to do this the illegal way too, which doesn't. I mean, it benefits you, but it also doesn't, because because of those statistics that are being lost when you do things that way.
Yeah, there's no money.
It doesn't help. Yeah, I mean that's why, you know, shows get canceled and things like that. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully there'll be a good solution that doesn't end up costing us money, because I'm sure Netflix the cost is gonna rise.
Yeah, I mean with net neutrality and of course with more content comes more price.
Right, and with the cable companies, yeah, you know, a lot of them are going to give you a certain amount of bandwidth, and start charging you more. I know I know somebody up in I believe it's Michigan that has it's actually just up in Auburn, which is like 20 minutes away from here. They don't have Comcast and or Verizon. They have a place called MediaCom, which does actually bill you like a wireless company.
Oh.
He gets my buddy gets
usage?
Yeah, he gets 250 gigabytes a month, which for an average person that might not be too bad, but for someone who actually uses their internet as their source of entertainment, that'll get ate up pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're hoping for, because they're going to have, you know, they're just like Verizon, all them do. They have the little 2 gigabyte data and then 4 gigabyte. But then if you want unlimited, you have to pay this much money. And I think they're going to do the same thing.
Well, and Verizon doesn't even offer unlimited anymore. You absolutely have to. And like I went from when I first went off onto my own phone plan from the wife's, I just bought 1 gigabyte, and that got ate up, went to 2. Now I'm at like 5. Ugh. Because I mean, I go ride my bike around and I end up using things like Google Play, which I just learned. Another neat feature of the Google Play is that as long as you're paying for it, you can actually download the music.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. So if you want to actually put a bunch of stuff on your phone so you don't have to stream it every time you want to listen to, you can do it that way too.
That is awesome.
Which would have saved me a lot of bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you make up a playlist, download all that stuff on it, and you're good for your bike rides, at least, you know.
Right.
Wow, that's good to know. I had no clue you could actually download it. I think with Spotify, you can go and buy the song. You can't download it, even if you're paying for premium membership.
Yeah, and again, they don't have the same selection. They don't have the rights to the music like Google does.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
it's definitely worth the trial. Now, I do believe it's one of those trials where you do have to put in credit card information because they will start billing you.
Yeah, it's probably auto renew or something. But I mean, we all have mobile
it's only
phones.
$9.99.
Set your phone an alarm for a month from now to cancel it if you don't want to keep it.
Yeah, right.
You know,
and it is only $10. You know.
Yeah, that's what everything seems to be coming to. It's just $8 to $10.
They do add up. But if you are a music lover and I love it. I mean, I can't work without music. I gotta at least have music or a TV show running. And
agreed.
Yeah, I mean, those of us that work in offices, it's pretty. I know I talk to older people about my job and how I listen to music all day, and they're just floored by that I just sit there with my headphones on all day. But I think that's not work.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. But I mean, the days of communicating and needing to have your ears available, you know, in an office and stuff, that just doesn't. It's not necessary anymore. You communicate on your computer, even to the person sitting next to you. I mean, you're.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the times you actually have to get up out of your seat to go walk to somebody are pretty minimal.
Yeah, that's very true. Even like my office, it's very small. The whole building is very small, and rarely do I go to people's offices. I mean, 10 feet away, and I'm sending an email to somebody, but that's just how it is because you got to track it. You have to, you know, that's where you go. And we in the tech department every so often, and my boss does it too. He'll turn to me and say, "Hey, I'm gonna plug in for a little while." So he's going to go and do his developing and programming and put his headphones on. It means don't bug me. I'm working, you know? So I do the same thing. I like to have TV running, but you can't really have that. Like at my work, if I were to stream TV, I don't think people would take it very kindly because they would think I'm just sitting there watching TV. But I'm not. I have to have something going. And a lot of the time some music I'll have on, but I'd rather have a show or a movie or something playing familiar. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I throw it on my 5th monitor.
Oh yeah, that'll work. I only have 2. Sorry, I have 2.
But I keep it really small. I put it up in the corner, and that way it's obvious that is less important to me than what my work. It's very tiny. It's not taking up a screen. Plus, I don't want them to. Think that I only asked for that extra monitor
just so you can have a full screen movie.
Right.
That's how I am. Mine, if I do play that kind of stuff, I only have 2 monitors, so it sits in the background, so I don't ever get to watch it. I just listen to it, and that's really all I need. There is a good thing about Netflix that I found too, and I don't know what other video type services do this, but Netflix, if you shrink the window down, it's responsive, so you can have a little 1 inch by 1 inch square and see the entire movie in it, which is pretty fantastic. Other sites, I've tried Hulu and things like that, they won't shrink.
Hulu's just not a very good selection anyway.
It's not. And Hulu, I don't know how they got into it, but they have to wait 8 days to get the new TV shows on there. I don't know if that's a rule or what, but they have to wait 8 days. So by the time that it's on, the next show is already on TV. You know, I've never really liked Hulu.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to start going with the Netflix model. I don't know about the whole releasing it all at once like they do.
Right.
But I think they're way less restricted by, the networks have, advertisers and things that they, and a board, just all these people they have to appease.
Yeah.
So they constantly have to be concerned about the content and how, what is on the show. So places like Netflix that don't have advertisers and things like that. I mean, I'm sure they've got partners and investors that they have to be careful about, but
right.
It just seems like the quality I have not watched a bad Netflix series yet.
No. I mean, House of Cards, amazing. Kevin Spacey. I mean, they just do things right. They do it. And I do like the releasing it all at once because you can watch the entire thing. But after it's over, then it's like, well, now what? And that's the big part of with regular TV is they use the anticipation of next week's episode to get you hooked on the show. So you take that away by putting it all out at once. But it's paid off for them.
Yeah, but we're in a I need it now society, and
big time.
I get very impatient waiting, and then they throw those mid-season breaks in, which basically they might as well just call it an extra season by the time it comes back on. Or they got a break because there's a sports event or things like that. And I've lost interest in shows just by missing 1 week.
Yeah.
I've moved on to something else. But again, I don't think we're the average consumer at this point yet. We definitely know different ways to watch things and get our entertainment that the average person doesn't. But it's around the corner that everybody's going to start doing that. I mean, I know anybody that comes over to my apartment and sees how I have my TV set up, that I don't actually have TV. Everything's Netflix and internet. I mean, they're just amazed by it. They think it's the coolest thing, and they want me to go set up theirs so they can have a little wireless keyboard and just sit on their couch and do computer things and stream things and all that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they have those new TVs now, or maybe I think it's the TVs where you can actually change channels by just swiping your hand across the air. Have you seen those?
Oh,
It's almost like using a Kinect, an Xbox Kinect. They have a little camera at the top, and you can actually, swipe through your series, and then you can say play or whatever. I'm just very excited to see what is going to happen in the future, because the generation of young children now are all technology. I mean, we at least had books. They have Kindles and. It's all digital. So I'm curious what's going to happen in the next 10 years, because so much happens in technology in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, and even me, I was a big book person as far as like coding books and things like that. And we took a little field trip at work to Barnes & Noble at lunch one day.
Ooh.
And I got all excited, and I started looking at the books, and I'm thinking, why... I don't read books anymore.
No, I'm not going to carry these around.
Right. I'm not going to pay $35 for something I can Google search and find the same answers. So, even us old people are getting to that point.
It'll be interesting. I mean, with everything going on, just seeing what the Chromecast did. I mean, it's unbelievable. The wearables that people have, all the data that. If you put all the data that Google or Facebook has on you, and you put that with a wearable device that monitors your heart rate and your blood pressure and temperature and all that stuff, you don't have to think anymore. You don't have to worry about anything, because something is going to tell you, hey, you need to eat more sodium, or you need to have less sodium, or have a banana. It's going to be very strange. Hey, don't forget to breathe. I don't know. How far is it going to go?
Yeah, right.
But we'll see. That's why I love technology, because it's changing constantly. But yeah, I was going to talk real quick before we end here about Emma Blackery. We talked about her a while ago. She had a Google Plus song that we loved at Live Speak Radio called "FU Google Plus." It was her opinions on how Google Plus had changed their Hangouts and everything about it. And she did an Indiegogo campaign. She was asking for $10,000 to shave her head.
Oh, that's that girl.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I didn't put that together.
Yeah, and it was for a charity. And she wanted, of course, 10,000 pounds, I should say. And she ended up getting 26,000 pounds. And that closed on August 8th. So she did it. So expect to see her shaving her head, and hoping maybe we can get her on the show and talk about this Indiegogo campaign and how it went for her. Because we talk about Kickstarter campaigns all the time, but very seldom do I actually see somebody on Indiegogo completing their goal. Honestly. I mean, everyone that we talk about, the old Ubuntu phone, that was millions of dollars, and they came short a little bit. But we don't talk about them because Indiegogo, you get to keep whatever you make. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. She's 26,000 pounds to shave her head for charity. So, and she's weird and wild, and I'm sure she'll look just fine with the bald head.
I'm sure.
So we'll check in with her if we can, and we'll update everybody about if she has her head shaved or not by next week's show. But that is it for us here at Livespeak Radio, unless Alan has anything else.
I do not.
He doesn't. He doesn't. Nothing. You heard it here, folks. Alan has nothing. to talk about. Right now, anyway.
I could talk about dating.
Oh, yeah. No. We're not that kind of show. I'm sorry.
I don't have any good advice anyways.
I don't either. Nothing. All I know is that if you're trying to impress somebody, I don't know, it doesn't work. That's my experience. So yeah, that's it for us. We'll see you next week right here. Make sure and follow us on Facebook.com/LivespeakRadio and Twitter.com/LivespeakRadio. And that's it. Thanks again to Indiana Talks and iHeartRadio and Spreaker for having us on. We'll see you next week on Live Speak Radio.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for listening to Live Speak Radio with hosts Justin Gilson and Alan Quant. Tune in next week to hear more amazing tech news, gadget reviews, and interviews. Don't be afraid to release your inner geek. Listen to Live Speak.